Hello and welcome back to my town. Now this is going to be one of my videos from the playlist before and after, and I'm about to redesign my town, lay everything out to my next pattern, and I do hope you like the finished product. Now, why am I going to choose this next design? Well, I had some requests, and the first request is from Liam Pearson. He said, my idea is to use as many roses as possible, because roses in the town are nice and give it a really nice view. Now, I happen to agree that roses are very beautiful, and in my request I actually asked for a more natural approach, and I wanted to have the rock display as part of my next design, and I'm very pleased with the final result. Now, if you do want to come and have a look at my farm, just do a quick search on Red Knights, that's R3D KNIGHT. You can then find my farm and then go to my town very easily, and you can have a look and see what you think. Or you can watch this video, and I do believe you will be quite happy. Now, he's also asked me to use a specific road pattern, and I'm going to be using that within this video as well, so you will see. He said, can I please put all the buildings to the extremes and use lots of trees? And basically that's what he's hoping for. Now, I've also had a request from World of Coasters. Now, World of Coasters gave me a wonderful idea. They basically said that because I want to use the rock, then how about using the rock as a centerpiece, like a kind of roundabout, and having 4 pathways going off in different directions. And I actually do enjoy that. Now, the path I'm going to be using is this one here, and it's the limestone path. And you will notice that as I'm getting new pieces of path here, the cost is increasing. Now, I do have some in stock, and I'm going to use those stocks first of all. Now, if you want to find the path, if you come to this part of the shop, you've got all of these paths here, and it's very easy. There's lots of different options, and I was actually considering using some of these others maybe in a later video. But first of all, I'm going to stick with this limestone one as requested, and I do think it looks quite nice. Now, you'll notice the coin there is 120, this next one's 130, the next one's 140, so they're going up by 10 coins every time. So this design I'm doing at the moment is going to be eating into a lot of my coins. If you are thinking of decorating, please be aware that sometimes the decorations, the ornaments, the items you're using will increase in price, so you will need lots of coins. But once you've purchased the item, you actually keep it. Now, I've got a straight path going from the start of my station to my town hall. Now, it's an interesting aspect, but I don't like what it's looking like yet. So I want to see how it's going to look with a roundabout kind of effect, so I need to put the rock down in place. So let's scroll down to where it is, and there it is, the rock exhibit. Now, this I purchased in the first video, and it cost me 4 gold and 4 purple there. So I want this to go in the middle, so let's move some of those path pieces out the way and slide it on in. Now, this is a rough position. Let's see how it's going to look a little bit later. Now, what other requests did I get? Let's have a look. Alexandre Ratinho said, put all the buildings in the extreme places of the town with roads. So this video is going to incorporate some of these ideas. I really hope that you guys like it, and I thank you very much for it. Barbara Clark also made a suggestion. She said, if you want a more park or natural feel, then please do go to her town and have a look. Now, I haven't had a look at her farm yet, but I'm going to. So I'm going to go and check her farm out. She's a level 49, and I'm going to have a little look at what she's done, and then maybe when I redesign my next town, I will use some of her ideas, and we can show the world what she's got. She said that she's not fully done, but there are some nice things on her town beach and area, so I will check you out later. Right, now let's talk about what I'm doing here. Now a single path I think is actually quite ugly. So I'm actually doubling up here and buying extra pieces. Now already the cost of the path has become very expensive. So 300 plus gold coins for each piece there. Wow, that's a lot. Now one thing I did enjoy watching, now when you put down these pieces, the other pieces will adjust the pattern or the design. Just like with the bushes, just like with the roses, etc. They will expand, you will end up with a nice little design. Right, now my roundabout's kind of coming into effect here. So I'm building the pathway around it. Again, I'm doubling up and I'm kind of liking. Well, 480 gold coins for those pieces. Oh my god, look at those coins. They're going down. Still, at least I'm getting lots of experience points for this, so I'm really hoping to level up within this game. We will see. Okay, that's actually not too bad looking. I must admit I'm not happy with the building layout, so a little bit later I will focus on that as well. But if I get this centerpiece done, that's the critical element. So once I've got this in place, I can then decide how I want the rest of the town. That's one suggestion I would have for you. If you are designing your town and you've opened everything up, try to choose your central piece and then work around that. It makes it much easier. Okay, that's my initial design there, a roundabout kind of style. I'm very satisfied with that. Now if I come off with the two side roads, let's see how that looks. I've got one piece of path that's not quite right there, so let's shift that one on over. There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's try adding another path in on the other side. Yes, I do like this. Aha, okay, all that experience has given me the 87 threshold. And wasn't that very nice? Oh yeah. Just one more threshold to go, then the final total. So maybe within the next week or so I will be leveling up to number 88. That will be really good. Okay, now I already have lots of rose bushes in stock. Now, when you put them down, first of all, you end up with a simple square. But when you add the next one to it, it extends the rose bush very nicely. Now, one thing I'm not quite keen on, now because the town is at a kind of angle, you'll notice here that when you put the bushes into place, there's a slight gap between the bush and the actual path. But when you do it on the other side, okay, it's almost right up to the edge where it butts. Now, I wish there was some way of actually dealing with that and getting rid of that, but I guess it's not to be. When you're looking at the town from a specific angle, it's going to give you this kind of effect. Now, you may be thinking, okay, why did you put bushes behind the building there? Well, for myself, okay, I know you can't really see them, but I know they are there. I know that my design has incorporated that into it, so there's no gap actually missing. Okay, I'm using white at the moment just to see what it looks like. Now maybe later I might change the color. We will see. One thing I wish these bushes could do, now there are lots of different colors, and I do wish that we could actually join different colored rose bushes together. So if I add the yellows or the reds and then I put them together, they will connect very nicely. At the moment, only one color will join another color. They're not able to interact or mix with the different rose bushes. Now that would actually be awesome. Imagine if you could have one yellow, one red, one pink, one orange, all butting up next to each other. And then when you put the two pieces together, the flowers actually mix. That would be such a sweet concept. Okay, now you're noticing here that I'm using different colors. Now I could have chosen a single color, that would have been nice, but I thought, yeah, why not add a few other colors in here? I've got the bushes, so let's just use the ones I've got for the moment. Maybe later I might buy extra and change them around, but let's just work with what I got at the moment to see how it looks. That way if I do feel I need to change it, I can spend more coins later. Same with every other decoration. If you keep buying the rose bushes or any of the other bushes, once you buy one, the next one is more expensive. Okay, looks like I can't get any bushes going straight in now. Not too keen on that up against the rock. Maybe later I will reduce that corner down. Okay, right, well there's the first part. Now I'm going to leave it there at the moment because my visitors are due to finish in the building soon. So I'm going to deal with the visitors, then jump back to my town in a moment. Right, now I've just done the visitors. You can see some of them walking around at the moment. Now the way the design is, they're just walking everywhere. Some of them actually do walk on the path, which is quite nice, but not all of them. I removed one of the bushes there because I want it to be more natural and to balance a little bit better. Now I'm much more satisfied with this, and I'm going to start working on positioning the buildings now. I've got my central piece in place. Let's choose where I'd like the buildings to go to. Now this part was actually very difficult for me. Choosing where to have the buildings or where I would like them to be was a bit of a challenge. Now at the end I decided to have the beach-based buildings located on the beach. So the spa, the beach hut and the B&B, I've placed them down there, and that's where they will stay later. Whereas the other buildings, okay, I want to keep within the town. Now I'm not happy with the fact that these buildings are too close together. I do know that if you're staying at a B&B you want to relax in the evening, but if you're at the beach hut you want to be drinking and enjoying the barbecues till late in the evening. So that's going to clash. Right, let's move that on over as well. It jumped back because there wasn't enough space, so let's make it easier. Move it into the middle, and then I can shift things around much more freely. Now focusing on this left hand side. Now which building should I have over here? Now I want to balance it still, so I'm going to choose 2 of the buildings to stay on the left hand side and 2 of the buildings to stay on the right hand side. Now I do have the trees in the top hand corner, and I do have the pond as well, and I don't really want to chop those down. So I need to choose which buildings match up nicely, which ones actually blend in very well. Now this is the stage or the process I'm going through at the moment. Now when looking at these buildings you can see the different kinds of designs. Now for me the focus I'm looking at here is where the bushes are around the buildings and also the path work. I'm looking for something that actually ties in quite nicely. In relation to the pond area, I want my visitors to be able to relax over in that area and enjoy themselves. So I've got a good idea that I might leave the diner in that area, but it's choosing which other building I want to match it up with. Okay, they're just slightly offset here, just so I can see which ones go together nicely. So I kind of like the bushes here between the 2 buildings. They blend in very well. But I also like the fact that the path for the cinema and the grocers goes together quite nicely. Hard decisions. Which one shall I shift over to the right hand side? Okay, I'm satisfied that the diner is going to be okay in this corner. I just need to choose its final position. Now, one thing I did notice by having a building in that top left-hand corner, you actually can't see the bell on the building. So if you do have any buildings to the extremes, you're going to have to rely on the town hall for actually putting people into that building and knowing that they're there. Or if they're done, you're going to have to look very closely at the front. But you won't know anybody's waiting because you can't see the bell. So rely on the town hall for that. Okay, let's have a think here. Okay, there's an option putting the buildings to the extreme, so putting them all in one straight line towards the back of the town. It's kind of okay, but it doesn't look right with the centerpiece. I'm not too comfortable with the way it's looking. Now, I actually like where the B&B is. Sorry, not the B&B, the grocers. I kind of like that position now. But I'm umming and ahhing about the City Hall. So here I'm turning it to the side, but I want to see how it relates to having the path running up to it. So let's move some of the path into position. Now I'm just taking some of the pathway from the other leg just to see what it's like. Now it kind of looks okay, but the balance again is not quite right. So let's buy some more pathway. I don't mind spending the coins, but 860 gold, oh my god, that's way too much now. I'm so glad I got 3 million in the kitty. Okay. Now if I put the rose bushes down, okay, that's not too bad. But I can't put any bushes behind a building with it in this position. And it looks kind of odd stopping just off to the side. Also the fact that you've got yellow bushes with the red rose bushes, yeah, not so beautiful I don't think. Now I do actually like the diagonal approach here. So in some ways I think I'm going to keep part of this and get rid of the rest of it. No, I'm not satisfied with that. I'm definitely going to put City Hall back into its right position. But let's do that in a minute. Now, as I said, I was quite happy with the grocers. So let's see what it looks like with the pathway coming up to it. So I'm extending my path more. I'm quite satisfied with the fact that the rose bushes are in a good position, so I'm using that as my angle piece. Now if you look at the grocers then, okay, I kind of like the fact that the brick or the pathwork is actually matching up quite nicely. Okay, they're a little bit smaller, but it still looks good. Now by adding these pieces here like this, I get a really interesting diagonal approach. And when you match that up against the rose bushes, I think it's quite cool. Yeah, I do like that a lot actually. But how should I have the gift shop? Should I come off with a diagonal? Yeah, that doesn't look too good because the step for the door is actually a little bit back from the front. Now the bushes are quite nice, but no, I'm not satisfied with that. What I think I'm going to do is move it a little closer. Okay, that way the bushes from the grocers and the gift shop actually tie in a little bit better. Let's remove some of those paths, I think. Turning sideways is not so nice either. Okay, I'm satisfied with the angle, so it's facing in the right way, but let's see what it looks like with some rose bushes added. Okay, let's get some yellow ones in there. This is what I mean by the bushes not joining, which is a shame, because that kind of cut there is not so nice. I'm not keen on that at all. Now I do like the fact that when you do put these rose bushes together, you do get an interesting square pattern sometimes. So maybe I might do that in another video. Just have the rose bushes, since it was requested, and try that as a design where you just have them, you know, scattered around the town area. Okay, I'm back to the town hall now. Yeah, I'm not satisfied with the way that's looking at all, so I'm going to move everything around there in a minute. Yep, I think the yellow looks a little bit better. Now with the gap there, okay, it's not so bad. It balances from the left to the right hand side of the bush, so I'm kind of satisfied with that. Let's now extend this down a little bit further to the end. Maybe take it around the corner or put some of the white ones back there. Let's see. $500 coins for those ones, and again they increase by 10. Okay, I'm now below the 3 million. So all of those coins I did have are now gone. This is what I mean by decorating your town. You will use a lot of coins, so do be careful. Okay, I'm opening up the corner here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there in that position. Should I go for a 2 or should I go for a 3, I wonder. Now what I'm doing is looking for something here that will fit up against that corner. Now I was strongly considering putting this archway in because it would be quite nice. The only trouble is the archway can't go at an angle. It can either go like this or the way you just saw it earlier. So what I decided to do was to move it as a nice entrance piece. And I thought, hey, that would be cool for the entrance to my town. So I'm going to put it in this position just here. So that means I'm going to have to get rid of some of the pathways. So let's move those out the way and see what it looks like. And that looks pretty good. And actually when you see the visitors walking into the town later, it's quite nice the fact that they just walk down through the archway. Okay, let's get some path going on this side and see how it's going to look. Now I think I'm going to do a diagonal again because I like the way it worked on the other side of the farm, so at the other side of the town. Now there is a little bit of a gap where you've got the step from the diner, so I need to think about how I'm going to adjust the diner, or maybe I would just leave it in that position. Now the pathway actually matches up quite nicely to the cinema, so I'm satisfied with that appearance. Okay, 1,000 gold coins for every piece of road now. Oh my goodness. Okay, which way should I have the ticket window? I think that's the better position. Now you finish in the cinema, you come out, you go and have yourself a nice little burger in the joint, or maybe you have a burger in the joint first and come out to the cinema. That looks good. I don't mind that. It's a much better diagonal, but do I need to go either side? I'm not keen on that with the pond, because the pond's too close for the path, so I won't do that, but I do like the diagonal a lot. Now if I turn that sideways, yeah, okay. No, I don't like that. Let's try the other way. Not keen on that one either. But let's see what it looks like if I put more pathway in. Yeah, I think that's the better option. I honestly do. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm going to choose in the end, but for the moment I'm going to leave it like that, I think, and then think about it a little bit more, then maybe come back to it later. Okay, now you can see a bit of a visual approach here to my town. It looks a little bit better. There's more meat to it here. You can actually see the path layout that I've decided on. You can see where my rose bushes are going to be. You've got a good idea of the building layout as well. Now, from looking at this angle, I'm really not satisfied with that town hall. So I do need to do something with that in a minute. It looks awful. Maybe if I had the town hall off to the left hand side with the front facing towards the center of the farm, that might be a better idea. And actually that could be an interesting concept design for later. Maybe have all of my buildings to the bottom right hand side, to the left and to the right aspect of the bottom area, and then maybe the town hall where the diner is now located. Right, now I'm going back to my shop here, and I'm going to be choosing a few items that I'd like to try out in different locations just to see how they go. So I've got some seats there, or benches, I've got a well, I've got a swinging seat, and I'm going to be putting a lot more out in this area. In fact, from now on I'm going to be spending some of the coins or vouchers or diamonds within the game just to try something out. Now I was thinking about a pavilion there. I just put it onto the ground, didn't like what I was looking at size wise, so I didn't purchase that one. Now that's actually a really useful way of checking. What you can do is slide it out. As long as you don't take your finger off, you can see what it looks like without actually spending any money. If you don't like it, drag it off, put it into an area where it's red, and then it will just disappear, and you will not have to spend any of your diamonds or coins or vouchers. So remember that. Now as I scroll down through my collection here, you can see what I bought or what I've got. Maybe as you're actually watching this video, you might make a few suggestions. Hey Ricky, why don't you buy this item and then use that as part of your design concept next time? Now I kind of like the fountains. I've seen this used a lot by other people in their designs. So I'm going to buy quite a few of these with my vouchers just to see what it looks like. If it goes well, okay, that will be one concept that I will leave for the moment. But I'm umming and ahhing about this. If I do add these fountains, does it mean I then come up with something that's not so natural looking? Let's just wait and see how it feels. Now these mossy rocks I do like, and I've got quite a few that I purchased before stored in stock. Now, as I look at this, I'm thinking, that looks good in the corner there. So if I get rid of some of these rose bushes, let's see how it looks as a corner piece. And you know what? It actually looks quite good. So just by putting some of the ornaments out there, I'm coming up with a new design thought. And I thought, yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, let's just stick them to either side at the moment. If I decide to buy another one, it's going to cost me 3,500. But let's just see how it goes at the moment. Now you already know I'm not happy with this area, so let's try a rock and see how it looks. Now I got my rock exhibit in the middle, so by having these rocks actually laid out in this area, I think it actually does go quite well. Let's get rid of those rose bushes. Now I like the bottom one, but I don't like the way this is looking. Maybe less is better. Okay, that looks nicer. Okay, now I'm going to turn that so they're actually balanced up. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, turning all the rocks so they're facing in this direction is much, much better. Now earlier I put some barrels and hay bales out. Now why did I do that? Well, I wanted to put them down the side of my station. Now for myself, I actually like the old style station. So if I think back into the past, especially if we think of, say, maybe the States, okay, from the movies I've seen, you see lots of barrels and hay next to the station ready to be transported away. Now I do actually wish that we could put some of the cattle pens into the town as well. Imagine being able to have the cattle pens just behind the station. That would be such a good concept for Heyday to incorporate at some stage. I do wish we could actually mix and match sometimes. I really would like to add some of my apple trees to this, or some of my lemon trees to the town. I really love fruit. Now the trees that we've got are quite nice, and you'll see later when I put some trees there. But please, at some stage, anybody that watches this video from the Supercell side, as an idea for the future, can you please give us some nice fruit trees that we can add into the town? Okay, yep, I like the look of that. I think that's coming along quite nicely. The rock pieces do go very, very well. Yep, I do like that a lot. What do you think so far? What's your viewpoint? Would you have made another change, or would you have put the pathways in a slightly different position? Maybe I should try this one later by removing the paths and then just having a different path pattern, just to see what it looks like. In fact, I may actually just do that. It will be a very simple video. Use the initial layout and just change the path around. Now, I've mentioned a few times that I don't like the way this is looking, so I've decided to put the building back in a more fixed and nicer looking position. So there you go. Now I do like the way that's looking. I think that's much, much better. Oh yeah, now isn't that sweet? I've just had a thought. Can we have some lions there? Now I don't like the golden statues, even though they would be really cool, I think, to go in that position in front of the town hall. But I do like the kind of stone approach to statues. Can we get some lion statues maybe that would go in those positions? And I think lion statues for the town would be really, really cool. Kind of like London. At some stage within the game, I'm hoping to get some more buildings in this area. Not too many though, because the space is limited. But it would be nice to see another building. Now, as I said earlier, I was interested in the fountain. Now, I just put one into place, but I want to see what it feels like balanced up against another fountain. So I'm going to have to spend some of my resources on this. Now, what's it going to cost me? Let's have a look. Bird bath, I think I'll do that another time. So, 2 blues and the 1 purple voucher there. Do I have enough? Let's have a look. Yes, I've got lots there, so not a problem. Okay, let's get a couple of these. $150 XP for those, not bad. Now, this is the problem with going from the angle, as I'm starting to notice. So depending on which way you're looking, depends on how it comes up with that gap. Now, if you look at the top one there, I think it looks awful in the position that it was, because there's too much of a gap to the back of it. But if I look at the bottom one there, that's actually not too bad. Same with the top one. But these two diagonals, I'm not keen on that at all. Now, if I can't get it looking nicely, I'm just going to put those ones back into stock and just get rid of them. Okay, yes, I just spent some money, but it doesn't matter. Now, actually, I kind of like the left-hand side at the moment. I kind of like the way those fountains do look there. But the other two, yeah, no. The fountain with the red rose bushes just really doesn't match, but the white rose bushes in the fountains do go together quite nicely. Having three in the diagonal, let's push that one back out of the way. Trying with the rose bushes again to get a much nicer feel. Let's add a few more. Let's just see what it looks like. Should I choose the same color or should I choose a different color? Umming and ahhing. Now, pink's actually quite pretty. I think I've got enough red, so let's get some pink ones there. So put those ones back into stock for a different day. And it's going to be the pink rose bushes. And don't they look beautiful? After putting these pink ones out, I kind of prefer these pink ones more than I do the red ones. Now you can see the color pattern there much more nicely. You've got the red, you've got the white, you've got the orange. I think that looks pretty good. I might just cut back on that top pink one later, but let's have a think a little bit more. Get some more whites in there. Nice border pattern, I feel. No, I don't think so. Let's cut that one back. Now, what I need here are some trees. If I'm going to have a kind of park feel here, I think trees are important. So I better buy some trees just to see how the design goes. But where should I put those benches? Now, I've already stuck the swing towards the back and I'm quite satisfied with that position. Now, when you are doing the design, don't become fixated on one area. Do set it up and then come back out again so the image actually is much wider. See how it balances with everything else like I've done here. This will give you a better understanding of your overall design that you're aiming for. Okay, I like the fact that these benches are in that position, but I don't like the fountain being there. Yeah, that's much better. I could imagine coming out of the diner wanting to relax with my girlfriend or with my wife or with my mother or grandmother or someone else like that, sitting on the bench there and enjoying the view. Maybe going there with my family and having a picnic, or with some friends and having a nice little barbecue. Okay, too many chairs. No, I really don't like those fountains. I think I'm going to get rid of those. That was a bad choice. Still, it's only vouchers, it doesn't matter. I think trees. If I add some trees, then I can see what it looks like and how it feels. Okay, I've got 9 of the large ones in there. Some dark leafy trees as well. That's quite a beautiful tree. And I've got 4 of those. Let's see what it's like. Okay, now I'm quite happy with the fact that there's trees been added there. It makes it a little bit more interesting. Now I need to think about how I want the design, so let's just push those out the way at the moment. What other trees are there? Let's go and have a look. Now I've got 9 of the big pines. Ooh. I think I'll get all of those out. Get rid of those fountains. That's it. Yep, that was definitely a bad purchase, I think. But then again, maybe I can use those fountains another time. Let's add more big pines there. Okay, anything else I really want? Okay, still more space there for 5 more pines. Let's just put them all out and then I can rearrange it a little bit later. I think I need to buy more trees. One more. Okay, if I need any more, I'm going to need 2 purple vouchers for that, but I think that's enough. Now, how should I rearrange these? Should I keep all of these trees over on the one side, or should I leave them scattered around the town, I wonder? Let's think about this. Now, every time I tried to move that pine tree, it wouldn't let me. But the best way to do it is actually to touch the top. Then you can pick it up and shift it around. Yes, I think a nice border effect over here is going to go very well. So I need to move those 4 trees in the bottom hand corner in a minute. And I think they will look nice over here. Yes, 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 yes. Now I need to shift these out the way. Yes, I'm starting to look really satisfied with that. I think having these larger trees gives this a more of a parky feel, almost like you're having a picnic over here, which is the idea I really wanted the most. Okay, I need to move those big bushy trees out the way, so wrong one. There goes the one. Now, by moving these trees in this corner, in some ways it matches up with the existing tree that I hadn't cut down. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Now a little bit later I'm going to have this large area down in the bottom right hand side, and I'm wondering what I should put there, because I'm limited by the number of trees I have, but I'd like to use something that is very green. Now maybe you can guess what it's going to be, because I have lots of them in stock. Now scrolling down here, this is all of the items. Let's see what I've got. Okay, in case you haven't already guessed, I'm going to be using these ornaments. Now, I often get a lot of these in the Wheel of Fortune, or I get them from the gift packages, so it's about time I started using them. So let's just get loads out there and then shift them around later. Now, in many ways, I actually don't like these kinds of decorations, but putting them out in this area and then moving them around the way I did gives it a really kind of nice feel. It's the first time I've actually done this, and when I first thought about it, I was thinking, nah, I don't like this. But I became really satisfied with the results, and I do like it a lot. It's almost like I've got myself a garden centre over on the side there. And you can pop to the garden centre and choose the kind of ornaments or trees you'd like to have for your own garden. Now I'm thinking ahead here. I do want the pearl there, but what else should I choose for the beach? Now, the season's not quite right for me to put the deck chairs out there, and the same with the sandcastle, but I do want a little bit more. Now, this is one decoration I don't have. It's going to cost me vouchers, so let's buy a few of those. Same with the cones. I don't have any of those, so let's get some of those as well. What else is there? A small leafy tree. I just saw 15 of those. They will look good on the beach, I think. Let's put some out on the beach and see how they go. It's about the right size. If I scatter those around or put those in a useful position, that will give me shades. Yes. But where should I put the buildings? Now, should I put them behind the trees, or should I put the trees behind the buildings? Now, you've got the station right behind the buildings there at the moment, and those people on the platform can be very, very noisy. Now, I suppose if you're in the B&B, you don't really want that. So maybe I need to consider doing something there. One mushroom log, which I got in the last update. And I do like that detail. I just wish it were a little bit bigger sometimes. This time I didn't go with the outhouse. No walls. I think that's enough on the decorations. I don't really need anything else there. No, I don't like that leafy plant. Okay, yep, that's enough of the ornaments. I'm quite satisfied with what I've got out, so I just need to rearrange the beach. I need to sort out the trees a little bit more, maybe move this around. The well doesn't look good. That's not nice, that's not done yet. I need to move those around. Yeah, definitely. That tree I want to shift over. Good. Okay, now I do like my swing at the back there, so I need to put the trees in a better position. So I'll go and focus on that area later. But let's get this one sorted. Now when you put them all together like this, it actually does make it look a little bit nicer. I must admit, up till now, if I have used some of them, they've been as an individual piece, and as you can probably guess, I wasn't really satisfied, which is why I never had so many. But by putting loads out like this, and then just changing the position or the angle, making it a little bit more beautiful looking, I think it does give it an interesting feel. Hmm. Now you've seen how my town's developing at the moment. I hope you'll get some good ideas from what you're looking at and you are enjoying this kind of playlist that I'm making. Now I'm actually enjoying setting this up and rearranging my town myself. Now it did take a long time. This video is probably about an hour long and you're thinking that it took me that much time to set it up, move things around and get it organized. So if you are going to design your town or redo your town, do it in shifts. It's much easier. Focus on the central piece first, then start looking at the sides. It all depends on what you want to do. Now, for you guys that haven't really expanded your town area, try to get that done as soon as possible. Now, I do know that the expansion materials for the town are really tricky. Trying to find deeds, trying to find maps is like trying to find gold in the ground. It's just nigh on impossible at the moment. But if you're in a neighborhood, if you are trading, you do have the options of getting these items from other people. Now I do have these items occasionally and I sometimes add them to my stall or sometimes I trade them to my friends or just give them away to people in my neighborhood. It just depends on that day. But open this area up as soon as possible. But do not dig up all the ponds and cut down all the trees or block the rocks. Leave those where they are. Use that as part of your decoration. Trust me, you won't regret it. Okay, it's coming along. Now I'm not quite satisfied with everything, so I'm going to move them away. I'm thinking here with my design to have a nice central pathway down the center of all of these ornaments. So you can start from one side, walk down the center, start from the other side. So it's kind of almost like a border effect. And I do like the way that's looking now. It's really balanced well. Okay, so that area's done. Yeah. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. I kind of like what I'm looking at here. I need to do the beach still. So let's move these buildings around. B&B and spa together. Now, I love that option. I've just come back from Hokkaido myself and I spent a fabulous week there. Now, if you are a friend of mine on Facebook, then you would have seen all of the photos I posted for the food that I saw or ate, because I absolutely adore food. But we stayed at Noboribetsu, and the onsens in that area are to die for. I would seriously recommend that area as a wonderful holiday if you are ever in the area. There are a variety of different hotels. I'm not going to recommend any, but do check them out on the net. The one that we stayed at, okay, we stayed in a traditional Japanese style room, so tatami mats. Basically during the day they're put away, which gives you a lot more space. I've kind of got out of the habit of enjoying hotel rooms that have the beds, because I find that the beds do take up a lot of space. But it was a wonderful place. My sons particularly enjoyed the onsen in that building or in the hotel we stayed at because they had slides inside. So sweet, sliding down the slide straight into the hot water. They really enjoyed themselves. For myself, I just enjoyed relaxing. The smell of sulfur was actually pretty good. And these were not fake onsens, they were the natural ones, which made it even better. Now, I'm liking what I'm doing here. I'm using the trees as a border from the railway line to the beach. I've put my B&B just in the center there, away from the trees that are not cut down in the corner. I think with the pearl in this area, it gives it a nicer feel. But which way to have the B&B? No, okay, I'm satisfied with that angle. That's good. 3 trees to either side. Good balance. Yep, I can really go for this. Yep, that's good. No, I'm not going to chop those down. Okay, the spa and the beach hut. Okay, I kind of like their positions as well. That's basically okay as well. Yeah, this is looking really good now. Okay, now the last area at the back here needs doing. Now I've moved a lot of those trees over. Now the swing between the trees, yep, that's really romantic. You can imagine sitting there with your partner. No, put it back. I think back is much nicer. Yep, that looks good. Imagine sitting there with your partner, just swinging there, enjoying yourself. I think that's really, really good. I need more of these trees. I'm actually going to buy some more later, I think. Okay. I do believe we have a winner here. No, I don't like the well. That well needs shifting. Let's move that back to the sides. Okay, just behind the tree. Move that down one. Difficult decision. Now, should I keep the well or should I lose it, I wonder. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's much better. Okay, now the well's gone. I can move that. Okay, yep. No, I'm starting to like this. Okay, right, now I'm really satisfied. I'd like to thank the 3 people that came up with suggestions or ideas. Putting the buildings to the extremes and using a path grid is a very, very nice idea. Having the roundabout concept in the middle using my stone rock was really, really good. Now this is what my town looks like. Do head on over to my town, have a look and let me know what you think. Now I need some visitors. I want to see what the visitors are like when they're actually walking around. So let's collect some. So Von Guten's farm has some people available. Now, oh my God, look at all those people waiting. But something strange there. It looks like there's a glitch in the game that's causing her to have too many people. Now let's try Fun Farm and see how many visitors they have. I want lots. I want to see many, many people walking around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, 6. Why not? Okay, now I'm not going to service these ones yet. I want them to walk around, enjoy my town, and let me know. Anything else I want to buy? I need some birdhouses later. Now the train's actually pulled away and I'm not quite satisfied with that area here, and I worry that any people who are walking in that area will fall on my train track. So I'm going to put a little wall up there as a barrier. Now actually, since I made this video, I've actually removed that wall. I've decided I'm not satisfied with it, and I've taken it down. Now if people do go too close to my railway track, it serves them right. Okay, once the train's back in place, you actually can't see it. So in some aspects, it's not too bad. Okay, you're probably thinking, why have you done it there? But it's all about me feeling comfortable. Right, now these people are wandering around. I've noticed they tend to be spending a little bit more time on the beach and less time in the town. Now I'm not sure why they do that, but I would have liked them to be moving around a little bit more. So let's send them to the buildings and see what they do. So come on, you've been sent to the cinema, so get walking. Okay, he's crossing the track. Okay, he's going in a nice position. Now what's he going to do? Follow the path or cut through? And he cuts through. Now it's so frustrating, the fact that some of the people will actually follow the paths and some of them will just cut through everything else. Now I'm not sure if that's just the way the software's been set up, but I do wish that sometimes it was a little bit better. Now she's going to my B&B. Come on, young lady, get in there so I can send the next person to their next building. I want to see the visitors in my town moving around, so come on. Okay, right, well, I'm getting to the end of this video. This is the design I've set up. I'm really satisfied with the way it looks. I don't intend changing this for a week or so, but I would now like your opinions for the next one to let me know how it's going to look. So do make comments and suggestions below this video. Now, see you all, enjoy watching what's going to happen, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.